Martha Jackman and Mark Downey going to bring out the first pair in the Lordco Auto Parts Super Combo. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. We have a racer in distress, Brad Owens is seeking out a Power Master alternator and a 2-inch pulley with a 0.520 shaft. That's once again a Power Master alternator and a 2-inch pulley with a 0.520 shaft. That is Brad Owens is seeking these out. He is situated in pit number 136 with his turquoise and white Chevy Bel Air. If any of you are able to help out, I'm sure he would much appreciate it. Jackman and Downey fire down the racetrack. 10.637, 139 miles an hour. Downey goes 11-11 with an O at 144. Super Combo, of course, running either the Super Street 1090 Index, the Super Gas 990 Index, or the Super Comp 890 Index. One of the three. Most drivers run the Super Street Index. I believe Dean Peterson will likely be running the Super Gas 990 Index. And this car over here, Lord side of the water box, at one point tried to run the Super Comp 890 Index. Although that said, was eliminated round one, unfortunately. Dan Parsons and Bob Lowe will be the next pairing up, and attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Juniors back to the lanes for first round of eliminations. Juniors, we need you back to the lanes for first round of eliminations. Thunder to 1, Lightning to 2, Street to 3 and 4. That is Thunder to 1, Lightning to 2, Street to 3 and 4. Once again, Brad Owens seeking out a 2-inch pulley for a Power Master alternator and a 0.520 shaft. That is a 2-inch pulley for a Power Master alternator and a 0.520 shaft, situated pit number 136 in this turquoise and white Chevy Bel Air. I'm sure you would greatly appreciate the assistance. Got the old Corvette coming on up your TCS side to race Steve Lowe in the Camaro over on the Lordco side. How about that? A dead tie on this last pass at the line. 10.908, 133 TCS side. Steve Lowe ran 10.933 Lordco side. The win was given to the Lordco side on that last qualifying hit, but the margin of victory, 0.0000. It literally cannot get any closer than that. If only this was eliminations now. Brandon Hutchinson and Martin Rochelle. He's pairing up down the racetrack. And Hutchinson running the Super Gas Index in the Roadster goes 984 at 151 miles an hour. Martin Rochelle went 1095 at 126. Brings up Dean Peterson in the Super Gas Mustang. Attention to the pits, attention to the pits. Final call for Super Shifters, and Junior Street. We have called Junior Street to lanes 3 and 4. With electronics complete, we roll into Super Combo for second round of qualifying. As we continue marching headstrong into this Smoke, Fire, and Thunder Saturday on what has so far been a phenomenal few days. We had a pretty tame Thursday. I hear Friday got got up pretty late, though, and I know I was already asleep by the time it ended. I wasn't here at the track yesterday, but I was definitely watching along on MRB Lordco TV for a good chunk of it. And so far, it's been an amazing Saturday as well. It's only going to get better the further we go along. And then, of course, you got Sunday tomorrow as well, with Door Slammers and Pro Mods will be eliminating.
Still, as we are going to roll into Super Combo action. So, getting things fired back up as we roll into round number 1 of Super Combo. Kind of a smorgasbord offering of the super classes from the NHRA Lucas Oil's Sportsman Series. It's going to be round number 1 of eliminations for them. So you got Super Gas, Super Street, and everybody else mixed in. It'll be 1090s a pair. These drivers trying to run on that 1090 index. Jerry Epp out of Abbotsford, his 66 Mustang, up against Martin Rochelle over there in the Malibu. Throttle stops kick in as Both drivers trying to run as close to that 1090 as they can without going over, and it is going to be Rochelle getting the job done. 1095 with the 9 on the 1090, 125 miles an hour, 044 light. So Rochelle left first on the tree and carried that advantage all the way to the stripe. 1099 with a 3 at 150 miles an hour. So the big speed top end charge for Epp, but unfortunately couldn't close the gap to Rochelle in the trap. So Martin Rochelle will move on to the next round as Warren Jacobson from right here in Mission, his 67 Chevy 2 with the 1090 up against the 890 for Bob Lowe in his 67 Nova. So the Lowe waiting on the starting line. It's the Pro Tree for the super categories. And that one was decided on the starting line as Bob Lowe goes 017 red. So Warren Jacobson moving on into round number 2 goes 1079, way under on the 1090 index. But again, it didn't matter as Bob Lowe red lights his chances of moving on to round number 2 of eliminations away. And coming up next is going to be Keith Peterson. We're there in the Lordco lane, Grand Prairie, Alberta. The Pro Power Management Peterson Fabrication Ford Mustang up against Mark Downing from Maple Ridge. Downing going to get the slight head start, running on the Super Street 1090 index up against the Super Gas 990 index. So Peterson having to do the chasing as they get to the top end, and Peterson goes over the index, or under the index, 986 with a 559 miles an hour in the 990, a 1088 with a 6 on the 1090 for Downing. Both racers going under the index, but Downing the lesser offender on the TCS side of the racetrack. Attention to the pits, no box, we need you guys to the lanes. No box to the lanes and electronics, you are on standby. No box to the lanes and electronics on standby. Martin Jackman out of Mission over here in the TCS lane. And Brandon Hutchinson from Shawnigan Lake, the 990 index for Hutchinson as he tries to track down the 79 Monte Carlo for Martin Jackman. 998 with a 533 miles an hour. Hutchinson gets the job done on that 990 index, and 1102 with the 7 to 10.9 on the 1090 index for Martin Jackman over here in the TCS lane. So again, Hutchinson moving on to round number 2 as we get ready for the next pair. We are also going to be firing up the Mission Raceway Park Twitter handle to help with lane calls if you have Twitters. So make sure to go to @Mission Raceway. You'll get all the lane assignments as that is going to be firing up momentarily to help as well. If you haven't already, tune into 92.7 on your FM dial to hear the PA feed to help with those lane calls throughout the racing action. So Dan Parsons, the 1970 Duster out of Powell River that he's been racing for 50 plus years up against Steve Lowe in his 1968 Chevy Camaro out of Langley. 1090s on both sides of the racetrack in the Super Street index. So at the stripe, it's going to be Parsons as a 1088 with a 939 miles an hour for Lowe going under the index, and a 1092 with the 2, 128 miles an hour. Parsons getting the job done at the stripe. Also got to the stripe first, so Lowe trying to track him back down. Fortunately, runs quicker than he would have wanted, as it will be, looks like one final car here. Is just a quick bit of work on the starting line. So Glenn Eagle in and out of Surrey in the former Corvette Specialties. Corvette will be the final car in Super Combo, round number 1 of elimination. So Glenn, by issue of how the ladder works itself out, getting the single run into round number 2 of competition. Oh, good thing it was single. Glenn can take a stab at the tree, goes 002 red, but is going to see how close he can get to that 1090 now. Perfect test and tune session as he'll take it down to the top end of the racetrack. Runs 1094 at the 5 at 133 miles an hour on that 1090 index in the TCS side of the racetrack. It looks like that is going to do it for Super Combo. We got the piece.
All right, Super Combo coming right up here at Smoke, Fire, and Thunder on the Titanium Strip. It's Mark Downing from Maple Ridge in the Tower Lane going against Brandon Hutchington from Shawnigan Lake. 2002 Davies Corvette in the far lane. He's dialed in at a 990 and Mark Downing at a 1090. So these are the two dial-ins for this class. Got the throttle delay on the start, and then they kick in and race on down to the top end, but it's red for Brandon, so it'll be Mark Downing, although he broke out 10.88, 1:45. He's moving on into the next round. Warren Jacobson, the 1967 Chevy 2 in the TCS lane, running a 454 Chevy Power, dialed in at 1090. They're both 1090 dial-ins. Dan Parson in the Lordco lane in the 70 Duster. Some people love Super Combo. Some people hate Super Combo. I think it's pretty darn cool. Side-by-side racing here to the 1,000 foot. It's going to Warren Jacobson, a 10.96, 133 with a 4. Glenn Golden from Surrey in the Corvette going against Martin Rochelle from Surrey. Hear those throttle delays, and then they let off and rah, all the way to the big end. Red for Glenn in the Lordco lane. So Martin Rochelle moving on, a 10.91 at 125. Moving in here to Super Combo. It's Martin Rochelle from Surrey and Warren Jacobson in the 1967 Chevy 2. This is the class with the throttle stop, so it sounds like they're going real slow, and then it'll kick in, boom, hello. It's all about the top end. Super Combo, and it's 10.94 at 132 for Warren. And look at that, quad zip, you guys, on his dial. Boom. Oh, margin of victory. Oh.
So with that, the margin of victory at the stripe, .00000, going to the 5th decimal place, which is actually not shown on the computer screen, but the computer deeming that Warren Jacobson going to get the job done, went 009 on the tree, didn't run close to his dial-in, or rather, Rochelle ran closer to his dial-in than Jacobson, but still Jacobson getting the job done on the starting line is Mark Downing from Maple Ridge, a 10.94 at 145 miles an hour. And I believe that was the semifinal, so we'll see Downing and Jacobson meeting up in the final round for Super Combo here at Smoke, Fire, and Thunder.
This is it, the final round here. Lordco Auto Parts Super Combo. And here's how we got here, folks. The ladder up on the big screen. Final round. Who will it be? Warren Jacobson or Mark Downing? And they're off. Who will it be in the final round super combo. It is Warren Jacobson. Mark Downing breaking out 003, a heartbreaker, but congratulations to Warren Jacobson and the crew there with the 67 Chevy 2. You are the big winner of Lordco Auto Parts Super Combo.